Alright guys, this is how to draw different hairstyles. Very important stuff. Okay, so in our last video, how to draw a face in proportion, I drew this face for you guys. Not my best face, but an idea. You need to cover football, baseball, football, and so forth. So I had talked to you guys about the fact that your eyes are in the middle of your head and that your hairline is in the middle of your forehead. So you have to find the middle from here to here, and that's about the middle. So that's how you're going to draw your hair. You're going to look at your hair and you're going to realize where your hairline is. Some of us have bangs, some of us have short and spiky hair. So for those of us who kind of have spiky hair, we're going to do this. Hair's going to kind of be all over the place. We're going to kind of go back and forth. And then it's going to kind of come down, and we have these things called sideburns. So your hair comes to the side. You can still go say to me, oh, that kind of looks weird. It's really stuck to your head. But if you come on the side and you do some texture coming down, and then of course you would erase this line right here, and then if you come and add some more texture in here, it really starts to look like layered hair. And if you have a cowlick, you can kind of show it by the direction that you draw the hair. If you're a girl and you have this hairstyle, so that was my boy version, you have your hairstyle and you're coming down, and then you do have hair that comes off to the side. So a girl, your hair will come off a little bit, and it'll come down, and it'll go behind your head. Oftentimes we try to draw this like weird little loop. Hair goes all the way down behind your head, and then you can kind of draw where the hair is going. It comes off the top of your head. You don't have to do those because most likely you'll be coloring your drawing in, and if you do these random lines, they don't really portray well or come across well when you're drawing later on. So just leave those until the very end and use maybe a darker crayon to show those lines. So that was the first hairstyle. I'm going to draw a series of different faces, just really quick. I'm just going to draw some ovals. Alright, so this is our first one, and I'm going to zoom in for us so we can see what's really going on with this. So, you of course would have your guidelines. You'd have the center line going down, you'd have your line going across, and then you figure out that your bangs were about here. That's where your head would be, so don't forget your eyes would be here. We have that all covered, all that good stuff. So now, to make bangs, if you have hair, so I'm going to draw our ears because those are important things for hair. We have bangs. It comes down in front of your eyes, sometimes it comes up. It kind of almost looks like when you're looking at a heart monitor. And then again, your hair comes down, and boys, sometimes we have this haircut, and it comes down. And if, again, we have a girl, your hair's going to come down like this, and don't forget a neck, and maybe her hair is going to be short. So maybe it's only going to come to there. Sometimes we might even have hair that's that short that comes down in front of our face. So that's good stuff right there. Okay, so now for our next hairstyle. So that was our bangs. So here we go. Alright, bangs. Those were our bangs. Okay, so our next hairstyle. I'm going to again draw my oval, draw my quick neck, my ears, our guidelines, our nose, and mouth will go there, and our eyes will go there. And our hair will start about here. So next we're going to be talking about a mohawk. And a lot of times I get boys asking me this, oh, Miss Marnelli, I had a mohawk this summer. I really want to know about it. So for a mohawk, I draw a little triangle, draw your hair coming down right here. And a lot of times we have mohawks that have started to grow in, or maybe we didn't have a full mohawk to begin with. So I do little dots. Just little dots like this. Go back and forth, all the way down, come off your head a little bit. That's your hair coming in. Also, if you have hair that's just really closely shaved to your head, and maybe you don't have that much hair, you can also use these dots to represent where your hair is. You go all the way down. Sometimes you have that hair, and we talked about the sideburns. You can represent those. So you do that, and that's for a mohawk. So, for our next one, our next person. Alright, I'm going to draw a big head, draw shoulders, my ears. You guys are getting sick of me watching this by now. Your eyes, and in the middle of your head, you have your forehead. So for this one, braids. Oftentimes we have people who have their hair up, and so I'm going to draw someone with their hair up. Their hair might come like this, and oftentimes it sticks off of our head a little bit, so we have to give ourselves some room there, and I'm going to draw the hair going back. Sometimes we have these little curly wispies that come in front of our face. Maybe they go out like this, so we can just draw all those little wispy lines. We can actually just color them in later on. And then we have the braid. So almost make like a heart shape, like half a heart, like a heart going down, and then just like a little line. And then a heart coming down, and meets up there, and a little line. Almost like a heart shape. Just keeps going. And then braids actually at the bottom, they slowly get smaller. Maybe I'll have my braid get super small, get smaller at the bottom, and then you normally have a little ponytail, and then you'll have all those little hairs sticking out. And notice that I didn't color it in because you'll color it in later on when you're coloring in your picture. So that's basics for a braid. Okay, next face, next hairstyle. Again, I'm going to draw my head, drawing my ears, my guidelines, nose and mouth, eyes go here, and always remembering our necks. So next one we have a ponytail. So I like to start my ponytails out. So again, start right about there. Very similarly to how I draw my braids. Starts here, your hair comes off your head just a little bit. Again, a lot of times we have these little wispies that stick off. Some of us have a bunch that stick off down here, coming off there. So how I like to do it is I draw a little line that is showing me where my ponytail's going to be. And if I had a side ponytail, I draw it over here, and if I had another side ponytail, I draw it over here. And then you normally have a little top thing. If you have a bun in your hair, this is also a way to draw it. And so then you just wouldn't draw the next part if you had a bun in your hair. And then oftentimes we can see the ponytail sticking out from behind our necks, like that. Notice I didn't have a completely smooth line. I showed kind of where my hair is going. And then again, with your pencil or crayons or whatever material you're using to color or paint in, you can draw these lines that are showing where the hair is going. So the hair is coming out of the ponytail, and all of these hairs are coming back to be inside of the ponytail. So you can draw those. Pretty simple stuff. Okay, moving on. Side parts. So many of us have side parts. I know I love my side part. Again, we have our neck, we have our ears, nose and mouth lines, eye line, and where our hair is going to go. So here we have side part. Oftentimes we'll just have a part going from there. Remember that your hair sticks off the side of your head. So boys, you can just leave your hair if you have a side part just like this. And then again, of course, you would erase this line. And you could draw all of your lines showing me where your hair is going. And girls, if you have hair like this, just draw it coming straight down off of your shoulders. And draw those lines later on, after you colored them in, to show me exactly where your hair is going. Alright, our next one is curly and wavy hair. So, again, I'm going to draw my head, draw my neck, my ears, my nose and mouth line, my eye line, and then where my hair is going to go. So when you have wavy hair, a lot of times it comes and it goes back and forth and back and forth. Maybe it comes down and our ears maybe are covered. And then it comes back and forth and back and forth. And this is just kind of my wavy hair. If you have curly hair, so it goes behind my shoulders, maybe it comes down onto my shoulders. If you have really wavy hair, you're just going to get really tight with your back and forth motion. Alright, and I'm going to keep going back and forth, and I'm overlapping my back and forths, and I'm going to keep going. So that's one way to do wavy. I also had people asking me about doing little braids, like maybe your mom's hair is braided, or maybe it's cornrowed or something like that. So if it's braided like that, you can represent it by just going down in a line, doing very close to the stippling technique, and just have them in really close lines next to each other. And kind of just going back and forth as I'm doing it, so it's giving the illusion that there's more hair there. So, because we all know how really thick braids can get. And it comes off my hair, and it comes up. I'm just doing this stippling. So I'm just doing little dots and going back and forth. And I'm going to kind of do it in lines, so I can have an idea of where each one's coming out of. Keep going, keep going. I'm making them really tight so I can see exactly where they're connected to. Make my hair look super dense and super thick, because it really is when you have your hair braids like that. So, braided hair. Awesome stuff. If you want to show your hair in cornrows, just draw a head right here, and shoulder, nose, mouth, and then eyes going across. If you have your hair in cornrows, you can literally just do it in little side rows, and then just keep going back, and keep going forward, back, forward. So, and I'm going to do it over here, and you have to leave some room between the cornrows. And then if you have them sticking down behind you, you can again do that shape and have them meet each other. So it's like doing that braid heart shape, but you just keep going back and forth. And then they go behind you, if that makes sense. All I was doing, zoomed in, was going like this, and then going like this right next to it. So they kind of look like a braid shape. Okay, and my very last one, I'm going to do it back up here, is if you have a religious bun on top of your head. So I'm going to draw the last head. I'm going to draw my neck, my ears, eye mouth line, or nose mouth line, eyes going across. And then it would be very similar to the ponytail style, and then leaving some room, hair coming off. A lot of times you have little curly cues. Hair's all going back towards that bun. And then I'm going to draw a wavy line going across, because that's the extra material on top. And then it almost comes to like a pointy shape. And sometimes you could just see an extra couple lines just like that. So, and that's also if you wanted to do a bun on top of your head. Good stuff. Alright guys, so that was how to draw different hairstyles. Here's a zoomed out of all of the different hairstyles that we just drew, so you can understand how all those related together. If you have any questions, just ask me. I will leave this picture up for you to look at. Have a good one.